Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for new Salesforce content that comes out every Friday. Today we're going to be looking at how to create a summary report in Salesforce. So today we're kind of starting out on the Trailhead website, kind of taking a look at what the different report types are. We have the tabular, summary, and matrix. So what makes up a summary report is the primary use case is you're going to group and summarize. So in the tabular report we did last time, that just is for a listing. There's no groupings added. The summary report is supported in dashboards. Report charts are supported. We can do bucketed fields. We can do formulas. So let's go ahead over here into our sandbox org today, and we're going to create a summary report. So if you're not already in there, you can go to the reports tab, and I haven't really talked about it, but over here on the left side, there's different things. We have all reports. You can look at all folders. There's really only one folder in here. This is just a test sandbox that I have, so there's nothing really much in here. But under all reports, you can just hit the new report tab here, and we'll create a new report. So I'm just going to create an accounts report. There's a bunch of different report types you can choose in here: account history, opportunity. If you need a leads report, these are all in here. But just to keep it simple, we're going to do an accounts report. So as of right now, there's no data showing. We do have the update preview automatically button turned on, which is awesome. So as we add things, it'll update and we'll see the data live. It won't show you all the data, but it'll show you some. So the reason there's nothing showing is under filters, it's only showing me accounts created by me, but I haven't created any. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to all accounts. And we need to open up this date range to all time. We're going to go ahead and hit apply. So these are all the accounts that are populating up right now that are in the org. So we can come over here to outline, and we're going to add some fields in. You can actually open up this section as well if you would like, and you can search fields if you would like. Like you can search different name fields if you would like. But me personally, I like working in the outline section to add fields. So if you click in the cell here, you can look at all the fields that we can add in for the account object. So like account site, and some of this may not have any data. So account site doesn't have anything. Let's see here. What can we add? Let's see if employees has anything. Okay, so we got the number of employees. I'm actually going to drag that up here and drop it so you can move the cell around if you'd like. You can actually also drag them this way on your graph. So if you wanted account name over here in the front, to be honest with you, it works better using it, clicking and dragging here. This is kind of finicky, and I know that's something Salesforce kind of needs to do. If you try to drag like last activity to the top, it's like super sensitive, and see it just drop back down. But if I wanted to put, well, there's nothing in that field, but if I wanted to put last activity in the front, a lot quicker to do it there. So for a summary report, I was talking about doing a grouping. So right here, you can add in a field that you would like to group by. So you can either click in here and you can group by account owner or alias, or, let's just say we have the owner here, the owner alias here. And let's just say we actually wanted to group by that. And there's not really many people here, but that's okay. You can actually click and drag it and drop it up there, and it'll break it out. So I'm actually going to go back up here, and we're going to select a different field to group by. We're going to group by type. So what we have here is the different types. So we have a customer direct. We have a couple that are undefined type. They have subtotals here. So looking here is totaling the number of employees, because right here, number of employees, but it's doing a subtotal. If you look at the very bottom here, you can turn that off if you would like. Now it is just totaling up the number of employees. You can actually turn off the details row if you want, and it kind of gives you just a kind of summarized view here without the details, or you can add the detail rows in. You can remove your row count, add it in. It's really versatile. Now I'm going to hit run just to make sure all the records are showing. So if you look here, we have the total records is 14. Total employees 241,965. I'm going to go back in and edit this thing. Now on the on the headers here, if you hit the drop down, you can actually group rows by this field, group columns by this field, because now we can actually group by columns and not just rows. After you add that in, you have to at least have one row that's grouped to group by column. And you can change your sorting if you want to do it ascending based on account owner name. That's a really cool feature, and I like using that. If you wanted to come over to like a number field, you can actually do different things. Your summarization currently set up for sum. We could do average. Look at that. Average. And if you wanted to see a subtotal for each account, turn that on and you can see your average. Now, got a min max you could use. Unique, show unique count. So those are really cool options that you can add to your report relatively quickly. I love that. But let's add a column in. So what do we want to group by? Let's group the column by account owner. So now we have the rows grouped by type and then the columns grouped by account owner. And as you can see, Salesforce, Ethan, me, these are my accounts grouped here. The sum of employees, average employees. We have automated process and Jimmy James, which is a user I created in here. And then looking down here, we have our details. If you turn the detail rows off, you're just seeing what you have grouped here. Very useful feature. Now we're back to a tabular report. There's nothing grouped there. So I'm actually going to make a separate video on how to create bucketed fields in here. And if we add in like the account name back in here, it'll allow you to bucket fields. You can bucket the column, and I'm going to create a separate video on this because it can be tricky and a little bit confusing when you're doing it. So I'll create a separate video for that. But really, that's all there is to the summary reports. You can add in separate filters in here if we wanted to filter by maybe the account name, looking at specifically certain accounts. Maybe they start with a certain letter or contain the words like United. Like down here, we could do that. I mean, we'll add that in. Why not? So we're going to search name. So let's do account name contains United. Apply. So now we only see accounts that have United Oil and Gas, or excuse me, that only contain the words United in them. And now we can see it. We hit run. There's our average, because if you remember, we added that in on our columns. We have our average, we have the total number of employees, and 3 records. We can actually turn on the subtotals again if we'd like to see that, turn off the grand totals. But we're going to go ahead and save this report, which will be great. I want to call this new summary report. And you can add a description if you would like, but there's a private folder, but I'm actually going to save this in I want to create a new folder here because I only have Einstein bot reports. We're going to call this training reports. Unique folder name. All right, that's the label. I'm actually going to put the same. Cool. And then we'll just select training report, select folder, and hit save. Now our report is saved. And I can go into here and then all folders. There's our new training reports folder. There's our new summary report we just created today. In the future, I'll go through and show more of what you can do with the filters, and that'll be a separate video as well, just to kind of make it a little easier for everybody. But if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.